Have you ever walked into a room and immediately assumed someone was intelligent just because they looked confident? Or believed a product was better simply because it was more expensive? Or spent an entire day thinking about an embarrassing mistake that nobody else even noticed? The strange thing is, most of these decisions don't come from logic. They come from hidden psychological effects running quietly in the background of your mind. You don't see them. You don't notice them. Yet they influence your choices every single day. Today we're exploring some of the most powerful psychological effects that secretly shape the way you think, judge people, make decisions, and see the world. And once you notice them, you'll start seeing them everywhere. The halo effect. Imagine meeting someone for the first time. They're attractive, well-dressed, confident. Within seconds, your brain starts making assumptions. They must be smart. They must be successful. They must be trustworthy. The strange part is, you have absolutely no evidence for any of those conclusions. Psychologists call this the halo effect. When one positive trait causes us to assume many other positive traits exist as well. It's one reason celebrities can sell products they've never used. It's why attractive job candidates often receive better evaluations. And it's why first impressions can be surprisingly difficult to change. Your brain likes shortcuts. Sometimes those shortcuts are wrong. The spotlight effect. Think about the last embarrassing thing you did. Maybe you stumbled over a word. Maybe you tripped while walking. Maybe you sent a message with a typo. For hours you couldn't stop thinking about it. Meanwhile, most people never noticed. And those who did probably forgot within minutes. This is called the spotlight effect. The tendency to overestimate how much other people notice us. In reality, everyone is usually too busy thinking about themselves, which is strangely comforting. The mere exposure effect. Imagine hearing a song for the first time. You don't really like it. Then you hear it again, and again, and again. A few weeks later, it's your favorite song. What changed? Often, nothing except familiarity. The mere exposure effect describes our tendency to prefer things simply because we've encountered them repeatedly. The more familiar something becomes, the safer it feels. This effect influences music, advertising, politics, relationships, and even brand loyalty. Sometimes we mistake familiarity for quality. The Dunning-Kruger effect. Imagine someone who has just learned a little about a subject. Suddenly, they feel like an expert. Meanwhile, someone who has spent years studying the same topic constantly doubts how much they know. Why? Because knowledge changes confidence in unexpected ways. This is the Dunning-Kruger effect. People with limited knowledge often overestimate their ability. Experts, who understand the complexity of a subject, often underestimate theirs. The more you learn, the more you realize how much you don't know. The confirmation bias. Imagine forming an opinion. Any opinion. Now imagine spending the next year collecting evidence that proves you're right. Ignoring evidence that proves you're wrong, without even realizing it. That's confirmation bias. The tendency to search for, notice, and remember information that supports our existing beliefs. It affects politics, relationships, news consumption, and even everyday arguments. Most people believe they're searching for truth. Often they're searching for agreement. The zeigarnik effect. Have you ever noticed how unfinished tasks stay stuck in your head? An email you haven't sent, a project you haven't finished, a conversation that ended awkwardly. Your brain keeps returning to it. Again, and again, and again. Psychologists call this the zeigarnik effect. Unfinished tasks create mental tension. Completion releases that tension. It's one reason cliffhangers are so effective. Your brain hates open loops. The framing effect. Imagine a doctor tells you a treatment has a 90% survival rate. Sounds good. Now imagine they tell you the same treatment has a 10% death rate. Same information, different reaction. This is the framing effect. The way information is presented changes how we feel about it, even when the facts remain identical. Marketers use it. Politicians use it. And all of us are influenced by it. The Pygmalion effect. Imagine a teacher is told that certain students are exceptionally gifted. The teacher unknowingly gives them more attention, more encouragement, more opportunities. Over time, those students actually perform better, not because they were originally more talented, but because expectations change behavior. This is called the Pygmalion effect. People often become what others expect them to become, which means the expectations you place on yourself matter more than you think. And that's the fascinating thing about psychological effects. Most of them operate silently, invisible, automatic. They shape how we see people, how we see ourselves, and how we understand reality. The more aware you become of them, the more control you gain over your own thinking. Because the human mind isn't just influenced by the world around it. It's constantly influenced by itself. An understanding that might be one of the most powerful things you can learn.